Hello everyone! Thank you for joining us again. Today we're going to be drawing a landscape, so you'll need a pencil and a piece of paper, and then we're going to be watercoloring the landscape. Now if you don't have watercolors, I'm going to show you a really neat trick on how we can use markers, a paintbrush, and a glass of water to create a watercolor effect. So grab your materials and let's get started. All right, let's get started with our landscape. So we're going to be doing kind of a creative landscape where we're starting at the bottom and we're going to draw some hills so that we're creating that sense of distance. In between here, we're going to have a body of water, and maybe that water is going to have some waves. You might have seen drawings like this before. They're kind of popular. And then beyond that, we might have another hill, maybe a few mountains, and see how I can make them overlap by drawing this so it appears behind these two. So this one's in the front, that's in the middle, that's behind. And then over here, we're gonna make the sun, and the sun is either rising or setting. And I'm going to extend the rays off the page. All right, now, just for some information, this part of the landscape that's closest to us, this is called the foreground. So the foreground is closest to us. Then if we jumped in the picture and walked back towards here, the body of water is in the middle ground. And then if we were swimming across here, get up on the dry shore, and we went hiking up in the mountains, this would be the background. So this is the furthest point away. This would be the closest point away. And so in the foreground, if you wanted to, you could draw some flowers. And these would be appearing bigger because they're closer to us. And then if you, for example, had flowers back here, they would be like teeny tiny, to help make that illusion of depth. Okay, so the next step is to color it. And for coloring, we're not really going to color the entire thing. So I'll show you what that means. So with your markers, whatever kind of markers you have will be fine. If you have washable markers, those work the best. If you have Sharpies, like colored Sharpies, that would not work at all, just so you know. So colored Sharpies are permanent. You want to find a marker that is washable. Okay, so I'm just going to do some different like line designs on my landscapes. I'm just going to jump over those flowers and come back to them later. And I just keep trying to find different greens. Just switch it up a little bit. Now for the water part. So you need a cup of water and a paintbrush. Dip your paintbrush in the water, and I like to work from the top down. If you're using thicker paper, it should hold the water fairly well. If you're using like copy paper from a printer, it's going to kind of wrinkle up a little bit on you, and that's okay. Just know that when it dries, you could put it between some books, and you could even take your iron to it and iron the paper flat. So I'm just going to gently brush, and you want to work in one color section at a time. So I'm going to stay in pink because my brush is picking up a little bit of that pink, and we don't want it to mix in with the other colors. And you can see it just works like paint. There you go. And when you're finished, you'll have a beautiful watercolor effect picture. So thank you so much for joining us, and explore enjoying these materials.